All right, we are live here with Alex Fuller of Bethel Music. Alex, how are you doing today?
Good, happy to be here.
Awesome, we're happy to have you. We're super stoked to chat about, lighting, set design, all the kind of visuals that you get to engage in on a regular basis. And it looks like you're on tour right now, so that's pretty fun. What's going on?
Yeah, so we're in Nashville. We just wrapped up rehearsals on the next Bethel tour. We're heading out. We're going to be the opener. A big tour that's going to be coming around America. I'm sure you guys will see it soon. And we have our first show tomorrow night in, I think, West Virginia, somewhere on the East Coast. I just get in the bus and wherever they stop, we get out and do it.
Yeah, wherever you guys show up. That's fun.
Yeah.
That's awesome. Well, Alex, tell us, how long have you been working in lighting design?
Oh man, I'd probably say since high school. That's kind of where I really started getting into it. I took like a drama tech class and did some, backstage design then, and lighting and makeup, and that was the hardest point, really, just putting makeup on your face as a dude. I'm like, wow. But got over it. I did a skeleton thing. So anyways, no, it was good. High school, yeah, I did theater, and then kind of from there. So yeah, been a while.
Awesome. That's really cool. That's really cool. And tell us a little bit about your family.
So I'm married, and we're actually celebrating 13 years this year. So that's pretty awesome. And we have two girls, 6 and 8, and they're pretty awesome. And we homeschool, and my girls do, like, my youngest does violin, and my oldest does theater, and they love wearing dresses and riding dirt bikes. So they're pretty well-rounded.
That is super well-rounded.
Yes.
That's hilarious. That's great.
Always like, take the dress off. You can't ride your dirt bike in your dress. So.
Oh, that's awesome. Well, we have some questions popping in here. So we're looking at lighting design as a whole and kind of all the things that you handle, on a day-to-day basis, maybe whether you're on tour or if you're working a conference, or even when you're working on a regular basis at Bethel. And our first question here is, where do you get ideas or inspiration for specific sets or lighting design? Because I'm sure that's a big one. Like, where does that come from?
Yeah, that's a huge question. Yeah, a lot of people ask about that. And honestly, kind of anything and everything. And I really make a point if I see something that inspires me, whether it's like, I walk into a hotel for the first time and they have a cool art piece, or, if I see a picture or I see something, I take a picture of it. And I just put it in my phone and kind of just, okay. And any type of, or if I see something, I see a lot of stuff online. Like, I follow a lot of different people on social media and stuff. And so I'll see other people's designs, and it just gives me an idea, or I like that one element of that design, and I'll screenshot it or whatever and just kind of throw all that into a folder. So then when I need design ideas, I can go back and I can go in there to, what inspires me, because sometimes it's super hard coming up with the design, and it's like, and I'll look back at the pictures like, oh yes, I like that thing. And then I get an idea off of it.
Yeah, no, that's great. Now, do you ever have an idea as to what resources it's going to take? Like, are you ever thinking the resources that it's going to require to make that happen when you get the inspiration, or do you just remove that from the picture? And
yeah, a lot of people start with budget, and budget is definitely an important part of the process. But I feel like if you don't ever just get to the point where you can just design from zero, like, what's the coolest, biggest, whatever thing you could ever do, design there, and at least you have an idea of where you want to go. And then, okay, we can't do all this. We have to cut stuff and trim stuff and find different creative ways to save money or whatever. But if you don't ever design something that you are inspired to design, or that inspires you, like, you want to, don't just shoot for the lowest. Oh, I only have $500, so I'm going to draw a square thing and like a circle and I'm done. Like that's lame. Like, start with something awesome and then figure out, okay, out of this, how can we still achieve this look or this feel? Maybe it's a different material, maybe it's a different product. Like, there's creative ways to save money and still get the same look or feel you're going for. So
that's good advice. That, I think that'll save us all in the long run. Tanner posted, he's wondering, how do you set up your board to be ready for unprepared moments or spontaneous moments when you're running a lighting console?
Yeah, well, there's a couple different ways, depending on the lighting console. A lot of lighting consoles, at least the more intelligent ones, have what's called live time or program time, or they're usually some type of language like that. And so you can, and if you can put that onto a fader, like between like 0 and 10 seconds or something, and then if you type in what you want it to do, like, okay, I want everything to change red and like move, and then you could push your live time up real quick, the 10-second, and hit go, and then you have a 10-second fade instead of it just snapping to that position. So there's different ways to do it. I think that's probably the biggest thing I use on the MA live time. And I push mine up to like, I think usually I run at about 18 seconds, so I can do big sweeps and big slow stuff. But it's really just having your palettes and all your presets set up to be able to do different things. And really, most of the time, if they're going spontaneous, it's usually more of a chill moment than like a crazy, big hits and stuff. And so sometimes I'll just make a cue stack that's just like some chill looks, like half a dozen chill vibey looks with like the whole rig in it, some like blues or lavenders or just something like kind of chill and mellow. So if I'm like, oh no, and I just kind of have a bailout and like, okay, I'm just going to this, and it's just like nice chill. And then from there, then I can add a gobo and bring it up or slowly rotate something, or it just gives me options. And so it kind of takes the stress off to get something up quick, and then you can slowly work from there and add on to it or whatnot.
Yeah, no, that's great. I think that's a really quality approach. So how many, on a regular tour, is there a set number of lights or set of lights that you like to use as a go-to? Like, do you get to pick that, or are you provided with kind of your list of lighting and setups?
Yeah. It kind of depends on the tour. Like this tour that we're going out on right now, we're going out with a bunch of other bands, and we're actually the opener. And so I didn't design it, and I didn't get to pick any of the fixtures. And so I'm just coming in to program and run it. And so for that, it's kind of what it is. I have certain types of lights that I like to use in certain size venues. I think that really determines what fixtures I use. More so, that's the type of tour, whether it's like a little small church or club tour, or if you're doing like a theater tour, or if you're doing an arena tour, you definitely have different lights that perform better in those size venues. And usually, obviously, if it's a bigger room, then you need a brighter light, and it costs more money, and so on. So if it's a smaller tour, you can get away with using less expensive fixtures. And then sometimes even in big arenas, if you have enough less expensive fixtures, you can still achieve some really cool looks and still not cost you a ton of money.
Yeah. Wow. And we just had a question come in on what software do you use to 3D model your lighting scenes?
MA3D. It's free. Okay. Yeah, it's free. If you go online, you can just download it, and you can play with it on your computer. Yeah, I think you have to pay for it if you actually want to get a dongle to actually plug it into lights to actually use it. But I'm pretty sure it's a free program. You can draw your rig and put your lights in there and turn them on and off and make looks and all sorts of different stuff. So
that's awesome. That's what you used on your lighting, your tour lighting class, right? To mock up those Bethel music tours.
Yeah, that's all in MA3D. I do everything. I draw everything in Vectorworks first, okay, and then move it over into 3D if I have the time and capability to do a 3D model. Sometimes the smaller tours, we don't have enough time, or the budget doesn't allow to be able to bring in a console ahead of time and pre-program everything. Yeah. So sometimes we'll just do it in 3D to give the tour manager and the people making decisions on if they like the design, and then we'll just move forward from there, and then we'll just program on site very quickly before the show.
Yeah, that's got to be fun, programming that quickly before a show.
Yeah, it's a little more intense.
Yeah, a little more stressful, I would say.
Yeah. Sorry, we got loadout going on. There's like stuff falling down from the sky.
Oh, let's like, actually. I want to take a look around if we can. Like, can you show us around a little bit?
Sure. What's going on? I can just spin around and show you the 360 view. Let me spin around here. So these guys are all lining up cases here to load the trucks. There's one of the trucks. There's gonna be 5 semis, 10 buses on this tour. And so I'm just going to keep rotating around here. So there's my, right here, here's my MA2 consoles, one and a backup. There's our Catalyst Media server that we're using. There's some risers. There's big video wall carts. So it's a bunch of stuff going on right now. So
yeah, that's always my favorite to look at when I go watch a concert or something, is the load out at the end of the night. That's always fun because you get to see all the equipment kind of being thrown around. But okay, so we want to know, when you're MIDI mapping and connecting it to a video source. So let's say you have someone who's running some type of iMag. How do you synchronize? Is that all pre-programmed before you guys head out? And in terms of MIDI mapping, what hardware is that used for you to communicate with those video sources?
Yeah, so we actually run SMPTE, not MIDI. And for us, we don't do a ton of it just because Bethel's style is so chill. Like, it's not a ton of big hits and lots of quick flashes and stuff. And so most of the time we just program and I just run it and I'm just hitting go, intro, verse, chorus, bridge, build, all that kind of stuff. So I'm just hitting go. But we do also do SMPTE sometimes when we're firing videos in it or whatnot. And so for this tour, there's a couple bands out that are running all SMPTE, and I'm just kind of babysitting it for a couple of the other bands and kind of, hitting a handful of cues in between songs and stuff like that. So it really depends on the style of music and then how much time you have, because SMPTE takes so much more time to program versus just like programming a cue, because obviously you want it to be perfect. Sorry, there goes my radio. So obviously you want the cues to be perfect, since it's gonna usually do it a bunch of times, and so it just takes longer to do than if you don't do it. So we try to do it when we know we're going to do a longer run of shows versus just like a one-off or something like that.
Yeah,
but for big moments or intros or something like that you really want to be awesome, it's definitely the way to go. I mean, it's perfect every time, and so yeah, if you have the time to put in to do it, it's awesome.
Yeah, I could see that bringing a whole nother level to the visual experience.
Yeah, I did an opener at Saddleback Church, I think it was a couple of years ago. And the opener was about 3 minutes long, and we programmed it. It took me about 8 hours to program because there's about 600 cues in that 3 minutes. And there's no way I could hit all the hits. And it was like a bunch of drumline stuff. So there's all these hits and guys all, and stroke.
Oh, it looks like we lost Alex just for a second. Let's see if we can.
There's you back?
Yeah, we lost you just for a second.
Okay. All right. So anyway, so it's just programming all these different cues. There's no way I could hit all those cues in the time that needed to happen. And we did 15 or 20 services, so it made sense to time code it all. And it was awesome. But, I did that time code, and then the rest of the songs I just take go. So
that's incredible. Do you have a favorite show that you've done, like that you designed, executed, and you're like, this is my pride and joy? This is a project I'm really proud of.
Yeah, I think this last year's Heaven Come at Microsoft Theater in LA. It was pretty amazing. It was big. It was a lot of lights, a lot of video, a lot of, the design was pretty fun. This year's that we're doing here in a couple months at the end of May in Dallas, I think it's going to be even better. I just got the design approved for that, and so we're working on budgets and stuff right now, and I think it's going to be really cool. And yeah, I'm really looking forward to this one.
That's great. How long do you typically spend prepping, preparing for a conference in terms of getting concepts approved, actually programming? I mean, is that a couple months?
Yeah, it all depends on the size of conference or tour. If it's a small, shorter tour, it might be faster. If it's a longer, like this Heaven Comes, like our flagship Bethel Music flagship event. It's 3 days long, and so it's kind of like put all your ducks in one basket, and we want this one to be the best. And so this one definitely gets the most time. We've been working on the design for probably, maybe a few weeks now. And so, yeah. Actually, I guess we started on it before Christmas. So this guy's walking by working. Yeah, so this one probably gets a little more time than the average one. Did I lose you? Hello? Joining us, did I lose you?
I think I'm back.
Hey, you okay?
There I am. Yeah, we keep dropping in and out. Sorry about that.
No problem.
So Anthony's wondering, how much of your show do you pre-program versus when you're on site at rehearsals?
Yeah, that again determines how much time I have in advance to do it. I'd love to pre-program everything, but the reality is that doesn't always get to happen.
Yeah.
And so for even like for these rehearsals, I was programming everything, but our band wasn't able to make it. And so I was just programming off all our tracks and stuff. And so, and then we have a short sound check tomorrow before we play. So it'll be the first time seeing it with everybody. Will probably be tomorrow live.
Oh, that'll be
probably
fun.
rehearse. Yeah, so it'll be great. So yeah, so I'm looking forward to it. It should be good.
That's great. Matt had a question. He wants to know if you can tell us about your days with Acquire the Fire.
Oh, Matt Helms. Hey, buddy. Yeah, so that's kind of where I started. I got the opportunity. I don't know if you guys ever remember Acquire the Fire, Teen Mania Ministries out of Texas. Acquire the Fire toured around and did East Coast, West Coast tours, an arena, kind of like an MTV style Christian rock show with like pyrotechnics and bands and drama and all sorts of stuff. And so I started out doing lighting for them, and then came on staff and was the production manager for Acquire the Fire for 3 years, and ended up shooting pyro out there and lighting, and it was lots of fun and learned a lot.
So you have a timer background.
Yeah, a little bit. I can blow some stuff up if needed. So.
Well, I'll keep that in mind, that if I need a pyrotechnician, I can just fly Alex out. That's hilarious.
There you go.
That's so cool. Well, Alex, I appreciate you you joining us. I think we're good wrapping up here. Did you have any last thoughts? Anything you wanted to say to our subscribers before we signed off for the afternoon?
Oh, I just want to say thanks so much for having me, and I'm hopefully looking forward to doing some more videos for you guys. And please check out my videos, and let me know what you guys think. And if there's certain videos you guys want to see, let me know, and I'll try and get some of those together for you.
Yeah, that's awesome. If you guys haven't seen Alex's tour lighting class, it's on our subscription site, Production Online. You can pop on there and watch it. It's an incredible series. And if you have any ideas for Alex or anything you want to see, you can comment that below. And we're super stoked to have you collaborating with us, Alex. And I appreciate you taking the time to chat.
Absolutely.
Awesome. Well, you have a fun tour, and looking forward to connecting in the future.
Thanks so much.
All right. Bye.